Sivaya Nama Tiruchitrambalam. Welcome back to our discussion on Thiruppaatu. 13th Padigam, historical sequence is the second Padigam, and today we are concluding our 13th Padigam with this particular song. The verse goes this way: Seyyaar kamalam malar naavaloor mannan kaiyaal thozhuthu yethappadum Thuraiyoor mel poyyaa Ooran uraithana vallaar meiye peru thavaneri thaanae. This particular verse is written in the form of, we call it as Thirukadai Kaappu. Kaappu simply means a savior, something that is going to stand as a protection. Whenever we want something, when we read a padigam with that particular intention, that intention will be sorted out. That is why it is called as Thirukadai Kaappu. Our first three Thirumurais have been written in this format. That is why it is even called as Thirukadai Kaappu. Nambi Aroorar starts that lineage here, so he is also starting with the concept of Thirukadai Kaappu. Not only that, he is resonating on his history as well. We all know he was born in Thirunavaloor. This is the first place he is making a reference to it. He says naavaloor mannan. He was also taken care by the then king from the place. The king's name is Narasimha, and our Nambi Aroorar was not literally adopted, but he was taken care by the king, and he grew up as a prince itself. So he is actually mentioning that also. He says naavaloor mannan, which means I was born in Thirunavaloor and I was growing up as a prince in the riches, in that you can imagine, right? When you're talking about a king, you can imagine what kind of a luxurious life he would have led, right? That's exactly what he's resonating here. He says, I belong to the place called Thirunavaloor, and the place, you know how beautiful it is. It is filled with lotus, and that too pinkish, reddish lotus flowers are growing up, and that is the place called as Thirunavaloor, and I was a prince over there. And he says, in that particular place, I come from that particular place, and my name is Ooran. He says he's addressing himself as Ooran, and he says, at that particular place, I am singing the verse on Thuraiyoor, the Lord from Thuraiyoor, the deity in Thuraiyoor. I am singing praises of him. Those people who are able to sing along with this similar manner, you will be able to get into the path of renunciation, path of penance, or the path towards attaining your realization. So whichever is our aspiration, we will be able to easily achieve that if we start singing this padigam, and that is what Nambi Aroorar is also resonating here. He says, poyyaa Ooran uraithana vallaar meiye peru thavaneri thaanae. One thing we need to understand here is, if you see someone talking they are just standing alone and they are talking, we would really pity them, right? We know that they are not sound mentally, and that is the reason they are just talking or blabbering something. We will not appreciate it. We will feel sorry for them. We will feel pitiful for them. Have you ever felt the same for someone singing alone? Never. The reason is, God talks to you in the language of music. When we sing, remember, we are talking to Lord. Lord Shiva is the one who is communicating with us. That is the reason, after we talk a lot, we don't feel so good. But once we sing, we feel so good. Why? Because the concept of Shiva, who's inside us, who's already there, is listening to it, and he is giving a pat on the shoulders, saying that well done. Of course, it's not literally felt, but we can feel it from within. You will say, wow, today after singing a song, I felt so good. It is because the person within is listening to it, and he is the one appreciating, and that comes in as a gut feel to us, saying that yes, I'm feeling good after singing. Rather than talking, let's sing. When we sing, of course we are singing or we are talking to God, because the language we are using for communicating with Lord Shiva is through music, and that is what this padigam is also telling us. Now, the concept of penance is not only requested by Nambi Aroorar, Gnanasambandar, and our Thirunavukkarusar, as well as our Thiruvalluvar, as well as our Thirumoola Devanayanar. All of them have requested for this particular concept, which is thavam, which we call it as penance. So it is not new, it is not alien, just that the language for requesting that has been unknown, and right now Nambi Aroorar has given that to us. So this particular verse talks about the beauty of the place, the beauty of the river, and at the same time how we should pray in order to get into the path of penance. Not only that, this particular padigam is recited whenever we want the second level of diksha. The first level of diksha is only to say how to apply the holy ashes and how to chant the mantra. Second level diksha will talk about giving us a linga, a shivlinga will be given to us, and they will teach us how to do puja for that. In fact, if you look at this particular padigam, the entire 9 verses talks about exactly the same thing. You see, when we take a shivlinga out of the box that we usually have, right, we call it as udayavar, we keep it out and then we pour a little bit of water. After pouring water, we will do all, we will talk about some kind of aromatic scents, and even the milk and flowers, offering of flowers, and also we do abhishekam with fruits and all these, right? That's exactly what you see in the 9 verses. All the 9 verses talks about the way how we need to perform abhishekam whenever we get into the second level of diksha. Once we get the shivlinga, we will start to do puja, right? And when we are starting the puja, this is the sequence we need to follow through, which is given to us by our Gurunadhar Nambi Aroorar. Such a lovely, insightful verse. I'm not sure how much I was able to succeed in explaining this in a language which is totally new. I'm not a born English, so you can see that I'm struggling, I'm stammering with some of the words, but I've tried my best. Remaining, it's up to you and Nambi Aroorar. It's his responsibility to make you relate with this more. I'll come back again with the next padigam very soon. Until then, Sivaya Nama, Tiruchitrambalam.